Members of one Letcher County community are concerned about the condition of the only road in and out of their area. And the recent flooding has made a problem at one eastern Kentucky lake even more visible. We'll tell you what officials are doing to combat it.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 4:59 on Thursday, February the 28th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News this morning. Yesterday, it was warm. You had to roll up the sleeves. So let's bring Brandon in, who's going to tell us, unfortunately, what goes up must come down.
That's exactly right. I swear that's one of my favorite sayings anymore because it happens all the time. We get some nice weather and then it all goes away. But this morning, at least it's still dry. Let's take a look at the hazard camera outside the WYMT studios, and no rain here to speak of at this point. We go to Whitesburg this morning. It's the same scene over that way. So enjoy the early morning hours. It's actually still kind of mild in some locations, but the clouds are here and maybe just a spotty shower in some places overnight. Not a whole lot of activity, but just kind of keep that in mind. Those are going to pick up today. Kentucky Mazzanat temperatures, we're seeing 40s and 50s across the board with the exception of Moorhead there. They're at 38. That cold front is moving through as we speak. So temperatures are going to drop just a little bit more as we get toward 9 o'clock. Usually 7 o'clock is the coolest part of the day. Then we'll start to slowly climb back up into the afternoon hours, but those rain chances will increase. 47 is about the best we'll do as we get back into the 40s later this afternoon. I'll have the rest of the forecast on the way here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, new this morning, police in Perry County are now investigating a deadly shooting as a murder case. The call came in just before 4 on Wednesday afternoon. An off-duty Perry County Sheriff's deputy found 42-year-old Danny Mullins of Chavies lying on Four Seam Road just south of Hazard, shot to death. We are told the victim had been shot multiple times and was dead at the scene.
We can say it was multiple. But we will be sending him in the morning to the Kentucky State Medical Examiner's office, and the Perry County Sheriff's Office, along with the coroner's office, will be sitting in during the autopsy.
Police continue to follow up on several leads, but there have been no arrests in the case yet. We will pass along any new details when we get them on air and online at WYMT.com. Well, in other news this morning, the American Red Cross needs your help. Recent flooding has triggered the need for volunteers. AEP donated a $150,000 emergency response vehicle to help Red Cross responders reach rural areas. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher spent yesterday with volunteers to learn what a typical day is really like.
Meet Charlene Qualls.
We help people.
She's a 70-year-old volunteer for the American Red Cross.
Just sit around and watch TV, you're going to get old and get fat and can't move.
The recent flooding sent Charlene and her husband Michael to Johnson County.
We drive the emergency response vehicle, which is what this is. Okay.
Married for 30 years and counting, they love volunteering side by side.
We like to do things together.
Well, most of the time.
I do lots of turnaround.
And sometimes it's best he just be left alone, but we do work well together. So
volunteering for the couple is fulfilling. And when the Red Cross needed help here in the mountains, they did not hesitate helping out.
People are so thankful that we're out there to help them.
While working with the love of her life is only icing on the cake.
Okay, going down this road.
Doing what she loves with her love. In Johnson County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you would like to volunteer for the American Red Cross, you can call the volunteer services at 606-331-6672. Well, a road in Letcher County is falling, and those who use it to get in and out will be stranded if it gives way. Highway 803 leads to the Millstone community near Neon and started falling nearly 2 weeks ago. Some drivers are avoiding it, others are just driving over it. People who rely on this road to get in and out worry for the safety of their school kids who drive over it every day.
We're just afraid that the kids is going to actually be the ones to reap the repercussion from it because it's going to fall, and when it does, I just hope and pray that a school bus is not on it.
State highway crews have assessed the road and have it on the list to fix. Now it's just a matter of dry weather to get to tend to it. Well, a Perry County road is closed indefinitely. State officials deemed Kentucky 267 near mile marker 10 too unsafe to travel. Officials say it is because of a large break that worsened during the weekend. There is no timetable to fix the break. State officials tell us around 800 vehicles use the road every day. Well, every year, Buckhorn Lake State Park hopes to have the area cleaned up by Memorial Day. The lake itself is starting to drop after recent heavy rain. Low-lying areas in the confluence and Dry Hill portions of Leslie County remain flooded and could for a couple of weeks. The gates of the dam are open, releasing a large amount of water. It is a problem that happens almost every year at Fish Trap Lake in Pike County. Tons of trash piles up whenever there's flooding, and it gets everywhere. Officials hope some extra funding will help. On Wednesday, the Pike County Fiscal Court and the Army Corps of Engineers partnered up, coming up with an extra $126,000 to help with the project. Officials say this has been a problem for years, and they are hoping this extra money will help them find a long-term solution.
We've, over the years, have looked at this trash. I mean, it's every year. It's a cleanup. It's a maintenance issue for us every year. And we have actually gotten the material out, weighed it, separated it. We burn the natural material here at the project. The man-made material, of course, has to go to the landfill.
Now, we are told 95% of the junk out there is natural, stuff like tree branches. The trash floating to the surface, like the stuff that has to go to the landfills, is what most people see. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, your snack choices and your fashion choices could go hand in hand. We'll tell you about an interesting design on some new shoes.
That cold front will cool us down today and bring some scattered shower chances into play. I'll have the full forecast in about 3 minutes.